California is one of the leading states in the nation when it comes to vaccinations. We've also surpassed President Biden's goal for July 4th.
But state officials say vaccination rates were dropping and they were worried progress would stall if they didn't do something different.
Getting from 30 to 40% of people vaccinated, that's an easy 10%. Moving from 70% of adults to 75 and beyond, that's stubborn. That's difficult work.
In California, 17.6 million people are fully vaccinated. That accounts for 52% of the people 12 years and older. Another 4.2 million are waiting for their second dose.
So a lot of people still have questions about this incentive program and how it works. KCRA3's Emily Maha is trying to answer some of those questions for us today. She joins us live now from the Capitol with what she's found. Emily?
Well, Brian, Lisa, your vaccine card is your ticket to win, and you don't have to do anything but get your first dose of the vaccine to be entered. You will be entered automatically. So we've been working all day long to get some of your questions answered. So we'll jump right in to the first question. Here it is. What if I live in California but got my vaccine while I was out of state? If I was working out of state and that's where I got vaccinated. I reached out to the California Department of Public Health. They tell me the state where you got your vaccine is the state where it's recorded. You can reach out to your doctor here in California to have that record updated, but that's something you would have to do on your own. Let's go on to our next question. Question number 2. What if I got my shot through a pharmacy or store like Walmart or Safeway? Am I still eligible to be part of the lottery? The answer to that is yes. Every vaccinator, whether you got your shot through the county or through a pharmacy, your doctor or store like Walmart or Safeway, is required to report that information to the state registry, and it's that registry that's being used to hand out this lottery system. Question number 3. What if you're undocumented? Are you still eligible to win? The answer to this is yes. Immigration status is not a barrier to the lottery. Everyone, regardless of their immigration status, is included. Question 4. What if you're unhoused and you win? How will the state get in contact with you? I talked with several county officials and they tell me vaccinators take as much information as they possibly can in an effort to contact people. If they're unable to get in touch with someone who's part of our unhoused communities, it's likely that they'll go to the initial vaccination site and try to connect with the person who's unhoused. Question 5. What if I'm under 18 and I win? Anyone 12 and older is eligible to get the vaccine. Could I be 12, 13, a minor, and still win? The answer to that is yes, but that money would go into a savings account that you could access when you turn 18. Our final question that I was able to get answered today is, what if I lived in California when I got the vaccine and then I move out of state and I win? If that's the case and you're not living in California when you win, your winnings will be forfeited. Brian, Lisa?
I'll take them. Okay. All right, Emily, that's
Emily,
good. That's good information for sure.
If you win, we'll pick up the check for you. Emily, is this really working?
Absolutely.
Are more people getting vaccinated because of the lottery, or is it still too soon to tell?
Right, so there is some skepticism when it comes to this lottery system. Do these incentives work? So I reached out to a handful of counties in our area to see if they are seeing increases in the number of people who are getting vaccinated since this program was announced last week. Most of the counties tell me it's just too early to know, but some say their vaccination rates over the last couple of weeks have been down slightly. Here in Sacramento County, they've actually seen a 1% increase in the number of people who have gotten their first doses since the lottery was announced last week. Brian, Lisa?
All right, well, Emily, one more thing. So you've done a lot to tell us about who is eligible, who is not eligible to win this money.
Right, so anyone who's incarcerated is not eligible to be part of this lottery. Anyone who works in the governor's office, the Department of Public Health, Health and Human Services, the California Lottery, or the Government Operations Agency, those groups and their immediate family ineligible to win any of the cash that's part of this vaccination lottery. Brian, Lisa?
All right, Emily, lots of really good information. Thanks for answering those questions for those viewers.